3 days ago, we had the Golden Globe Awards, and I don't think anybody cares. It wasn't televised, but I still don't think anybody cares. If you're wondering why no one cares about the Golden Globe, at least this year, it's because they're enthralled in a bunch of controversy from last year. So they were going to have the awards this season anyway, so they decided not to broadcast them. I don't know if they had a short circuit somewhere uh, or is that what it's called when they could see it? I don't know. I don't think anybody showed up. I don't think there was any speeches. There was no host. There was no real actual event. So I'm assuming they UPS or FedEx the awards to everyone. I'll be curious to see if any of them actually keep it or if these awards mean anything to them. But me being a review channel of TV shows and movies, I figured, hey, why not? Let's review some people might care, and I think it's an interesting list. I think they overcorrected, to be honest. They I think are trying to appease everyone, and by doing that, I just think they missed the mark. So if you guys are interested, this video will be for you. So I'm basically on the Golden Globes website, and I'm going to go just right down the list from page 1 to page 7. I'm gonna go right off with the big one that everybody cares about, and we'll just move ourselves from there. I'm not gonna hold a lot of time on each one of them. I'm just gonna basically read off the nominees and then announce or just who won in that category. Now, just to be fair and just to be in 100% honest with everybody, I didn't see all these movies. I saw roughly around 40% of these movies that were nominated. And again, just to be honest, I had no desire to watch some of these movies because they look like uninteresting to me. And other movies, I mean, if you guys are familiar with my channel and you go back and see it, I review a lot of movies, and I try to pop out a lot of content at least 5 days a week, which is a lot of movies. They're not all movies, but anyways, you get my point. So maybe I should take a little bit more of a onus to see these movies before I judge them, but that's neither here nor there. We are here now. So just to be honest with everybody. And this, again, is just my opinion. You might love the winners or some of these nominees. You might have your opinion about who wins. Awesome. Let me know those down in the comments. So without further ado, let's begin. So for Best Picture Drama, we had the nominees of King Richard, Dune, Coda, Belfast, and The Power of the Dog. The winner was The Power of the Dog, and I honestly think that it did not deserve that. It shouldn't have. I don't think it was the best movie of the year, at least in drama, or the best picture. I think that should have gone to King Richard. I think the way, anyways, I don't want to go too much into breaking it down, but I think King Richard should have won this category. But hey, Benedict Cumberbatch has been putting out movies like if they were freaking on sale. So to have one of his movies win for Best Picture, I think is a nice feather in his cap. The next category is Best Picture, Musical or Comedy. You had Tick Tick Boom, Licorice Pizza, Don't Look Up, Cyrano, and West Side Story. And the winner was West Side Story. And again, I disagree with this winner. I think of any of these on the list, it should have gone to Tick Tick Boom or to Don't Look Up. I understand Don't Look Up is very controversial with, people applying their political bias to it. But even if you took that, Don't Look Up, Tick Tick Boom should have won with our main man, Andrew Garfield there, our well, depending on your ranking, your beloved Spider-Man. The next category was Best Actress, Motion Picture Drama. Here, I think they got it right, even though I would have probably edged out to Lady Gaga, who was in House of Gucci. But you had Kristen Stewart for Spencer, Lady Gaga, like I said, for House of Gucci. You had Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, and you had Jessica Chastain in Eyes of Tammy, and Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. And the winner was Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. Now, if you saw my review on Being the Ricardos, I didn't think she looked or sounded or acted like Lucille Ball, but a lot of people told me that they thought her performance was spot on. And I guess to each their own. But I don't really have it. I'm not against that pick. I think it's a good solid winner, and I kind of half of me agrees with it. But I think what Lady Gaga did in House of Gucci, even though the movie House of Gucci wasn't all that great and it was kind of a bomb and a disappointment, maybe there could have been a tie in this one, and I would have been probably happy with that. But anyways, Best Actor, Motion Picture Drama. Your nominees, or the nominees in this category was Will Smith for King Richard. You had, I'm gonna butcher the name, Shala Ali for Shang Tsung. You had Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos. You had Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog. And then you had Denzel Washington for Tragedy of Macbeth. The winner here, which I'm okay with because I think the movie should have won for the Best Picture Drama, is Will Smith for King Richard. But here's where I have my problem. If Will Smith won for the Best Actor in a motion picture drama, how is it that the movie doesn't overall get that title? Right? And if the Golden Globes feel that The Power of the Dog was the best movie, then how is Benedict Cumberbatch not the best actor? I get that you want to diversify your awards, but when you do stuff like this, it leaves us as the fans or the critics or the reviewers to ask the questions if you're just handing these out because you don't want one movie to dominate solely. And that's okay, award shows. One movie can dominate just like a team can dominate, just like anything in society. One company can dominate for a while. It's okay to acknowledge this movie was great. So again, I don't mind it. I thought Will Smith's portrayal of the Serena sisters, or the Williams sisters' father, I thought it was amazing. He encapsulated that role. And I don't have a problem with that choice. The problem is how they're coming up with this award. Like, hey, we'll mix it up. Well, The Power of the Dog won Best Picture. We can't give it Benedict Cumberbatch, even though he basically made that movie what it was and an award contender. But maybe it's just me. You guys tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. But anyways, we'll move right along. Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. You had nominees Emma Stone for Cruella. You had Rachel Zegler for West Side Story. You had Jennifer Lawrence for Don't Look Up. You had Marion Cotillard for Annette. And Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza. The winner from this category was Rachel Zegler for West Side Story. And again, I don't understand how she won this award when you had both Jennifer Lawrence for Don't Look Up. And I'm not saying Jennifer Lawrence should have won. If you're giving me these nominees and I had to choose one, I would have chosen Emma Stone for Cruella. I wasn't a fan of Cruella. I didn't like the movie. I thought she was too Harley Quinn for it. But I thought if they're for the Best Actress in a musical or comedy, Emma Stone's by a long shot would win this award. I mean, if you gave me those 5 picks, but for whatever reason, the Academy or the Golden Globes decided to pander to Hispanics to say, "Hey, look at us, we're loving Hispanics," to draw some kind of attention to that. But nah, if anything, we the Latin or Hispanic Americans or the Mexican Americans have their own awards and they gravitate to those anyway. So there's really nothing you're gonna say like, "Oh my God, you're gonna increase your Hispanic or your Mexican representation for 2023 because you gave awards to Latin actors for really mediocre movies, and The West Side Story was a mediocre movie. I did not enjoy it at all. I turned it off halfway through, but again, this is not about my review, but the winner was, again, Rachel Zegler for West Side Story. So moving on, Best Actor for Motion Picture Musical, or comedy, you had nominees Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up, Peter Dinklage for Serrano, Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom, Copper Hoffman for Licorice Pizza, and Anthony Ramos for In the Heights. First of all, before I say who won, why the hell was In the Heights in any nomination? That movie was garbage, but that's neither here nor there. And here I agree with the pick. The winner was our Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom. And I think they did a good job. If anything, I would have probably had Leonardo DiCaprio on as a close second. But again, that's just my... So I have no grievances with that pick. Moving on. Best Supporting Actress, Motion Picture. You had nominees Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Catriona Ball for Belfast, Kristen Dunst for Power of the Dog, I'm going to butcher the name, Anne Janu Ellis for King Richard, and Ruth Negga for Passion. The winner was Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, and again, I disagree with this. Because again, if Power of the Dog wins, then Kristen Dunst should be the winner for the female actress in a motion picture, or the best supporting actress for the motion picture, because again, the Power of the Dog won the best movie. And what made the best movie? Was it the actors, or was it like the sets, you know? And again, West Side Story was not at all impressive, and I think this is just one of those like, hey, we gotta seem like we're progressive and handing out the award to a deeper meaning movie. But again, I thought West Side Story was garbage. And I would have put, a close second was to Ellen Janu Alice for King Richard, because I enjoyed that movie. It was one of my top movies of 2021. But again, just my opinion. Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture, you had nominees Ben Affleck for The Tender Bar, Jamie Dornan for Belfast, Cody Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog. You had I'm going to butcher his name and he's a legend, Sharan Haynes for Belfast, and Troy Kotsur for Coda. And the winner was, which I agree, Cody Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog. Again, this is how it should have been. We should have had a sweep of it, because it not only from him to Benedict Cumberbatch to Kristen Dunst. If the movie won the best picture, then it should have followed this suit. A close second. I mean, I didn't watch three of the other movies. I thought Ben Affleck in The Tender Bar was okay. I don't know why he got this nominee. Maybe for the lack of movies or serious movies. Because I thought his accent was in and out, and the fact that they didn't age him properly when the boy grew from, JR grew from 9 to 18. He did a great job as being that mentor figure, but I thought they did right with giving it to McPhee. Moving on, Best Director Motion Picture. Again, I agree with this because it should have swept. The winner was Jane Champion for Power of the Dog. Again, if it wins the best picture, I think it should be a sweep, because there's a reason why it's the best picture. The other nominees were Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Maggie Gyllenhaal for The Lost Daughter, Steven Spielberg for The West Side Story, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune. Again, I don't know. I agree with the pick just because it won Best Picture. But if you asked me who I would give this to, yeah, man. I can't even give it to any of the other ones, because I didn't like Dune. I hated West Side Story. I didn't see The Lost Daughter, and I didn't see Belfast. So I don't really disagree with this pick. So I would give it to Jane Champion myself too. Best screenplay, motion picture. Again, I don't understand how this goes to any other one than The Power of the Dog. But you had nominees: Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Paul Thompson Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Jane Champion for The Power of the Dog, Adam McKay for Don't Look Up, and Aaron Solskin for Being the Ricardos. How Belfast won when it's clearly not the best screenplay or motion picture. Here you're going up against. This is probably the most competitive award that of all of them, because you had The Power of the Dog, which again I gave it a favorable review. Don't Look Up, which I thought was completely original, and the sarcasm and how they went about the whole Ashford thing, I think that was brilliantly written. And even though I hate the whole thing about Being the Ricardo, I mean, I gave it a kind of a favorable review. I just didn't like the. I thought the acting was great and everything. Everybody involved did a great job. I just thought the casting was pretty bad for Being the Ricardos, but for being in a screenplay nomination, I thought either one of those three could have won it. Besides Belfast, but again, because they wanted to just be diverse in how they gave their awards, is ridiculous. So, the next one, which I completely agree with the winner in this one too, was the Best Picture Animated. You had Encanto, Flea, Luca, My Sunny Mad, and Raya and the Last Dragon. Winner being should be a no-brainer, Encanto. Encanto, given the nominees, I'm sure you guys could probably tell me some other animated movies that weren't nominated that could have been better. But as far, we're only going with the nominees that the Golden Globes decided to put out, and I think Encanto hands down dominates those other four movies. I saw three out of the other four. The only one that I didn't see was Flea, and I thought, yeah, Encanto was just on another level. Best Picture non-English language. Honestly, I couldn't even speak to these, but the winner in this one was Drive My Car, a Japanese movie. The other contenders were Compartment Number Six, which was a Russian Finland film, Hand of God, which was an Italian film, A Hero, which was an Iranian film, and Parallel Mothers, which was a Spaniard film. I didn't watch any one of those. I should probably expand my international viewing, even though I did see a bunch of international movies, mostly on Netflix, but I did branch out a little bit more. Anyways, moving on. Best score, motion picture. Dude, this is my hero. I do music on the side, and I anytime he should win every award every year until he dies, and even then, some he should get like 10 years added on at post mortem, just because he wins. And many have said it. He is literally the hands and ears of God. Hans Zimmer won this for Dune, hands down, the best. When his sound is so unique. Again, I'm just a stan of Zimmer, so that's complete bias on my part. You guys might take it. I mean, I enjoy some other ones, like off the top of my head, what's his name? The one that did the Transformers, or Japskus. I can't remember. I butchered last names or even first names if they have too many damn syllables. But if you have that epic feel to it, I think you get my fandom, and Hans Zimmer is one of the best. The other nominees were Alberto Iglesias for Parallel Mothers. You had Johnny Greenwood for The Power of the Dog. I can't remember the damn soundtrack for that, to be honest. Jermaine Franco for Encanto, which it's a solid contender to Hans Zimmer because that soundtrack was pretty dope. Alejandra Desplat for The French Dispatch. Moving on, the best song, motion picture. You had the nominees were No Time to Die. You had King Richard, Encanto, Belfast, and Respect. And the winner was No Time to Die. I can't remember the singer that does it, but it's what's her name? It's gonna kill me. Anyways, what is her name? Anyways, it's gonna kill me because I honestly can't remember. But No Time to Die won for the best song motion picture. It's gonna come to me towards the end, but it's that young. Anyways, moving on. Best drama series. You had nominees: The Succession, Lupin, The Morning Show, Pose, and Squid Game. How Squid Game didn't win this is beyond me. Why? Again, ridiculous. Who voted for these things is beyond is my question. But the winner was Succession, and I didn't hear no hype, no nothing about this stuff. No one cared to watch it, and how they don't give it to Squid Game with how enthralled everyone was with that. And isn't that the whole point of a drama, that you're suspense, that you're into the story, that you're captivated by the world that they envision and brought to life? And unless I'm mistaken, Squid Game hands down did that. So crazy to me. I would have put WandaVision in there, and it would have been a better thing than the other ones right here. But yeah, how Squid Games didn't win that one is beyond me. Best musical comedy series, you had nominees: Hack, The Great, Only Murder in the Building, Reservation Dogs, and Ted Lasso. I heard a lot of people like Hacks, which that is the winner. Hacks was the winner for best musical comedy. But I thought Ted Lasso could have been a close second. And if you would have switched them around and gave it to Ted Lasso, I wouldn't be mad. But I'm not mad about Hacks. I didn't watch it, but I know a lot of people that I respect their opinion said that they loved it. So I'll have to take their word for it as far as what it was. Best television motion picture. You had the Underground Railroad, Dope Stick, Impeachment, American Crime, Made, and Mar of Easttown. The winner was the Underground Railroad. Honestly, I can't even speak to this category because I didn't watch any of them. The Made was one that I'm still going to watch, and not because it was nominated. I've had it on my freaking watch list for a minute now. And just like Squid Games or other ones on Netflix, I put them on my watch list, and then I won't get to them until the hype's over, just because I'm reviewing a ton of movies and a ton of shows that sometimes it just falls down. If it doesn't grab my attention from the get-go, but I have a interest, I put them on my watch list. But sometimes it just gets bumped off, especially the month of December. I mean, it just got bumped up. Every time I wanted to get started, something else came up. But let's move on. Best Actress in a Television Motion Picture. You had nominees: Cynthia Envito for Genius Aretha, Kate Winslet for Mayor of Easttown, Jessica Chastain for Scenes from a Marriage TV, Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision, and Margaret Qualley for Maid. The winner was Kate Winslet for Mayor of Easttown, but it should have been Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision. This, again, a joke. They're not even close. Wanda should have taken this hands down. There's not even no competition. And I know they won't say it. They'll be like, "Oh, I was just, okay, I was just honored to be nominated," and nah. Like the WandaVision should have been dominated from all the awards. If you ask me, from a year ago. It's sad that Hollywood has this kind of bias towards superhero movies and now superhero shows. Because honestly, again, hands down, if it wasn't for the top two shows from this past year were WandaVision and Squid Games. And you could throw Arcane there. And actually, Arcane should have probably been up there in the nominated. And I think they should have probably freaking won it. But anyways, I don't know what the criteria is for the Golden Globes to get, your movie nominated, or what you have to do. Probably a theoretical. I don't know. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Elizabeth Olsen should have won this category. But they gave it to Kate Winslet. So, it is what it is, I guess. Best Actor Television Motion Picture. The nominees were Paul Bettany for WandaVision, Oscar Isaac for Scenes of a Marriage TV, Ewan McGregor for Halston, and Tahar Rahim for The Serpent, and Michael Keaton for Dope Sick. And the winner was Michael Keaton for Dope Sick, But it should have been, again, Paul Bettany for WandaVision. Of all of these, he's the only one that had a mega hit. I'm talking about throughout the world. Yeah, some of the other movies or some of these other shows were good and they did okay. But as far as the Raw, if we're taking the best actor, as the category says, the best actor for 2021, hands down, was Paul Bettany with how the show was laid out and how he had to change his range. There's actors that you give them one role and they can't do it throughout a movie. Yet you gave him 4 or 5 different roles, personalities to embody, and he did it with such brilliance. Same thing with Elizabeth Olsen, that should have won that category for Best Actress. That kind of rigorous demand from them, and they hit it out of the park, should have won them all of the awards that they could win. I've said that in my review. Again, a lot of people call me fans. They'll be like, oh, fans can't get what they want. It is what it is. Best Television Actress Drama Series. Your nominees were Uzo Aduba for In Treatment, Micaela Jane Rodriguez for Pose, Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Christine Baranski for The Good Fight, Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tales. The winner was Micaela J. Rodriguez for Pose. I know I butchered that name and I'm sorry. And honestly, I didn't see any of the other damn shows. So maybe she deserves it, maybe she doesn't. I'll leave you guys to debate that. I didn't watch any of them. Moving on, Best Television Actor Drama Series. Nominees were Jeremy Strong for Succession, Brian Cox for Succession, Lee Hyun Hae for, and I'm sorry if I butchered that, but for Squid Games, Billy Porter for Pose, Omar Sy for Lupin, and the winner was Jeremy Strong, and it should have been Lee Hyun Jane for Squid Game. Again, the global phenomenon that stayed on the trending list for Netflix for how long? You couldn't turn on TikTok without people using the sound, doing the thing, the games, and I mean, it developed. There's games that I could go on my freaking Android store, and if you have an Apple store, you could go in there and type in Squid Games game, and you'll see a bunch of games. Come on, show me anything else that of these freaking Succession or Pose or Lupin that had any kind of cultural significance as to what Squid Game. And if the Golden Globes were all about like diversifying, you could have done yourself a service if you would have actually done the correct thing and nominate the best of the best, and not just trying to people please everyone, and gave it to a South Korean production that was by far, well, not by far, because I think the best show was WandaVision, but damn near, if WandaVision was 1A, this was 1B. It was that close. So they should have gone to my dude from Squid Games. But moving on, Best Television Actress Musical Comedy Series. Your nominee was Elizabeth Einbinder for Hacks. You had Jean Smart for Hacks, Elle Fanning for The Great, Issa Rae for Insecure, and Trace Alice Ross for Blackish. Jean Smart won for Hacks, but again, I didn't watch it. I know a lot of people love that show, so given the fact that it did win the best overall show, and I have to do the same thing that I hold myself to the same criteria that I did for Benedict Cumberbatch and the Power of the Dog winning the best picture. I don't got a problem with it. They should be racking it like the same way that they should be in the movies. The hacks should be dominating on the television side. If the Academy so wishes to have them as the best TV show, even though I would have had WandaVision. Best Television Actor Musical Comedy Series. You had Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso, Anthony Anderson for Blackish, Nicholas Hoult for the Great, Steve Martin for Only Murders in the Building, and Martin Short for Only Murderers in the Building. And the winner was Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso. And I agree with that pick. I have no problem with that one. Best Supporting Actress in Television, you had Jennifer Coolidge. I mean, I butchered that one. The White Lotus. I know a lot of people like that show. Caitlin Denver, Dope Sick, excuse me. Andy McDowell, Maid, and Hannah Weddingham for Ted Lasso, and Sarah Snook for Succession. Again, I would have probably given it to Hannah Weddingham, even though I butchered her last name, for Ted Lasso, but they decided to give it to Sarah Snook for Succession. I don't agree with it, but I wouldn't be mad either way. This one they got right. Best Supporting Actor Television. The winner, which respectfully and it should have been, was Oh Young Soo for Squid Game, hands down. But the honorable mentions and the other nominees were Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, Kieran Culkin for Succession, Mark Duplass for The Morning Show, and Brent Goldstein for Ted Lasso. But they gave it to the correct actor for supporting actor is Oh Young So, and that's it. I don't know if there's any more, but those are the only ones on their website, so I'm assuming that's it. What do you guys think of the winners, the nominees? Were there ones that you were appalled by? Do you agree with some of the winners? Do you disagree like I do with some of the winners? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and hopefully they get out of this crap so they could be televised next year. I know some people care, even though their viewership was down like 60% from 2 years ago. But maybe they'll get their act together. And if they're going to get their act together, listen to this. Give it to the ones that deserve it. Don't go pandering. But anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And like always, that's a wrap.